Hello, Daily Drafters, and welcome back to the channel for today's AI generated deck list video. That's right, we're playing Historic Brawl today with an AI generated deck, as I'm sure you've seen in the thumbnail here today. As you can see by the deck list on the screen, we are playing Omnath Locus of Creation, a deck submitted by Derek Warren in the comments of our last AI Gen video. That's right, the way that this works is that on each of the videos in this series, the top liked comment of the next suggestion commander is going to be how we're going to be doing things. And Derek Warren suggested Omnath Locus of Creation. It was the most liked comment in the comment section. That's what we had ChatGPT build today. For those of you that haven't seen the first episode in the series, there will be a link in the upper right hand corner right now. You can go ahead and check that out. I will do more explaining of exactly how everything goes on here. I won't do too much today since we're already into it, into episode number 2 of this series. But essentially, we had AI build our Historic Brawl deck today. That's right, this entire deck, well, not entire thing, I'll get into that in a moment, is built by AI. So, how did that go this time around? Well, here we are, Omnath Locus of Creation Historic Brawl AI deck. I put this back into a Google Doc based on what AI gave us. And here's what it spit out. We've got 17 creatures, including Dryad, Lotus Cobra, Risen Reef, Scoot Swarm, some pretty good cards for an Omnath deck, and then some strange ones like Scroll Wielder and, you know, other interesting cards that we are going to have to play because, after all, this is an AI video. We've got some instants, including ways to put more lands on the battlefield, and a lot of MDFCs from the AI today. Very impressed with that. Got some sorceries for ramp as well. Mizzix's Mastery in here for some reason. More NDFCs, Turn Timber, Shatter Skull, some board wipes, some enchantments here. Felidar Retreat, Zendikar Royal, cards that care about putting lands into the battlefield. The AI seems to know what was up here with Omnath Locus of the Royal. We've got the Great Henge, a couple Planeswalkers, and it did only give us 22 legal lands. So I'm going to show you how I corrected that, but it gave us all 6 legal shock lands for our color pair, which is great. It tried on the Pathways and it tried on the Triomes. We'll get to that in a moment. Fable Passage, Evolving Wilds, a couple of interesting inclusions, and all of the legal temples. Now, where did it go wrong? Here's where it went wrong. We've got some duplicates, some cards that aren't historic, legal, color identity, not a real card, banned cards, things like that. It gave us double banned Field of the Dead. It gave us all the black temples, including black triomes and black pathways. It gave us 3 copies of Omnath Locus of the Royal. I put 1 in. I had to take 2 out. And then some other cards, a double Felidar Retreat, and then 2 cards that don't exist, including many black cards here. So what I did is I had to take these out and fill them in the best way that I think I could based on what the AI was going for. So I filled out the Pathway cycle, I filled out the Triome cycle, gave us Command Tower and Boseiju, put in some basic lands because we had things like Fabled Passage, which would make this quite unplayable if we didn't have basic lands in the deck, so I put in 6. I finished out the MDFC cycle and also gave us some mana accelerants here, which is going to be huge, as well as plenty of, just value creatures for an Omnath kind of deck. Renin 7, Courser of Kruphix, and Tish Restoration is more ramp. So that's where we landed today with our AI build of Omnath. It's going to be an interesting one. I think our mana base is actually functional. Our curve isn't outstanding, but we'll see how that goes. And we've got a couple stinker cards in here that we're going to have to work our way through. Song of Creation, Radiant Scroll Wielder. End of the day, we're playing an AI deck. We're having fun. We're going to see if we can go ahead and get some wins with this one. Without further ado, see you in today's Game 1. All right, here we are in Game 1. We do have a turn 1 Llanowar Elves here. Lithoforming isn't an NDFC, and I don't know how well it's going to be castable in this, but turn 1 Llanowar Elves into Nissa on turn 2, or even Risen Reef, I think is probably good enough here. So we're going to go ahead and keep this. Again, for those interested in participating in this this kind of series, leave a comment with the deck you'd like to see AI build for the next video in this series. And the most liked comment is what AI is going to build for next week. Simple as that. Go ahead, check what people have already said. Go ahead and like the ones you think you like most. Ideally, a commander from Zendikar Rising or before, as ChatGPT doesn't really recognize cards after that. All right, well, that's unfortunate, but, One drops, Bolt the Bird, right? Got a Fabled Passage. We have... I'm probably just going to play Seagate tapped here. That way we can do Hengegate and then Fabled Passage next turn. Risen Reef or Nissa. I think we do Risen Reef because Nissa cares about lands entering. Next turn we can go Nissa and then Fabled Passage. Have access to 3 mana off of that. So let's put this on white. Play Risen Reef here. Oh, they have a counterspell for Risen Reef? No, okay. 1 blue mana. I would love to put that onto the battlefield tapped. Now next turn we could even Felidar Retreat and then Fabled Passage. Playing against Rusko Clockmaker. I guess I could show you their commander as well. This is the one that is like a control deck. I hate playing against this deck. They like to counter basically everything you do. They play Rusko, they make a Midnight Clock, they hold up a counterspell, and the rest is history. I suppose I could just play Omnath this turn, but I think Felidar Retreat double Fabled Passage is pretty good. What if I did Nissa double Fabled Passage? I would get 4 mana. Yeah, I guess I would get 4 mana because I would have 1 left untapped, get 1 from this, 1 from the next one, and then the 1 from the land that comes in. So I could play Felidar Retreat, but let's go ahead and get a board going here. Are you kidding me? Swan Song. Alright. Play the passage. Not crack it, because it's another land drop for whenever we do have Nissa or Omnath on the battlefield, but here we go, playing against blue counterspells. Conjure a random card from... Who cares? What's in its spellbook? Swords, Light, Ponder, Force Spike, Ritual, Duress, Bolt. Okay, so like a cheap spell. I could have gotten Bolt if I double block here. Wrath of God. I play Nissa, I crack the passage, I get another land, I have access to 2 lands plus the land drop. So I have access to 3 lands, I could cycle Shark Typhoon. I could crack the land, play Omnath here. Let's see if this resolves. I guess I can cycle the shark here and see if I hit something. I think I'll get a mountain because of this lithoforming in my hand. And... let's go ahead and cycle for 1. Wayward Swordtooth. You play an additional land on each of your turns. Can't attack or block unless you have the city's blessing. Well, we have 9 permanents, so if we play this, we get the city's blessing. Though... I'm going to have to figure out a way through this blue-black control deck here. They're probably going to flip their clock next turn. This gets 12 counters. Yeah, they're leaving up all their counter spells here. So what do? We can play ECD have it get countered. We can play Sword Tooth. I don't think we want a Wrath. We could have our Omnath get countered. Whatever we play is getting countered, I'm pretty sure, so I'd probably just rather it be this. I could also get rid of their clock as opposed to the Rusko here. Let's get rid of the clock. Oh goodness, what's happening now? Oh god. A kicked Cyclonic Rift? Or an overloaded Cyclonic Rift? That's a demoralizing feeling. At least we got rid of their clock so they can't draw 7, but like, we're not in a great spot here. Okay, so Ponder is what they got off of Tome. Well, they could just do this every turn. What else did they get? Dark Ritual's what they got the first time. Well, we don't have a land drop in hand, which is terribly unfortunate. We are already at 10, and we are missing land drops, which is not a thing this deck wants to do. Can tell you that. We could play Omnath, draw a card, hope to hit a land drop. Or we just play ECD, try to get rid of their Rusko here and see if they have negate or something. Close enough. No matter what we did, they were countering it anyway. So we are now at 6. They've got Tome, so we're pretty low here. This whole Rusko control deck is never fun to play against. Alright, now we're very low on life. That should probably do it. And it will. Alright, well, if you're new to this series, we don't win often, but it's very rewarding when we do. Alright, we go first this time against Uro as their commander with Delighted Halfling and Elvish Mystic on 1. I think I'll go ahead and keep. How do we sequence here? Gotta do Branch Loft on green, and then Halfling can play Rada next turn. Can also play Omnath on turn 4. Gotta play Needle Verge on red. So we're drawing... we're drawing an ugly one in Cavalier of Flames, which is not particularly castable. So next turn, we can Reclamation, but that doesn't really do anything for us. The Mystic is probably more important. What are we drawing next? Uro? Yeah, I think we have to play Mystic here. That way next turn we can Omnath. So let's get in there. The AI unfortunately did not give us many artifact-based mana ramps, but it did give us some land-based ramp, which is what this deck wants with multiple land drops here. They have their own Reclamation with a bunch of blue mana now. Yeah, I think I need to play the land. I'm fully expecting a counter spell at this point. But, it's either that or play around it with Uro. But the thing is, like, yeah, they're going to have Wilderness Reclamation every turn, so they're going to have their mana open on our turn every single turn now, so... let's do this. Enters tapped. Play Uro. Draw steam vents if it doesn't get countered. Yeah, so they only got priority when we played Uro, so they do have a counter spell in hand. Let's see if they... I mean, they can play their own Uro and then still hold up counter spell. Maze Mine, Tome, untap all their lands, hold up counter spell again. Okay. Sword Tooth. Can hold up Sublime Epiphany too. I can give Rada +6/+6, assuming they don't have anything else except counter spells here. Let's hold up Epiphany. I mean, they're at 13. They have to do something here. So we could get another Halfling or another Mystic or something. Again, they can just keep dirtling around and drawing cards and stuff, but we're hitting them for 5 a turn here. I will probably cast Epiphany on anything that they cast, because then I can return the Reclamation to their hand. Their lands won't untap. And then we're free to do kind of whatever we want. Any play? No play. Are they going to float everything? Okay. That's alright. Let's see what they do with potentially up to 9 or 10 mana here. Nothing. They just burn their mana. Okay. Alright. Field of Ruin, sure. Still holding up Epiphany, because why not? I can't hold up Epiphany and Reclamation here, unfortunately. I can hold up Epiphany and Sword Tooth if I do this, because I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then these 3 let me play Sword Tooth here. So let's just get in with Rada. Play... Nope, can't tap like that. 1... 2... Only a legendary spell. This spell can't be countered if we... Oh, we use Halfling. Okay. Totally forgot about that interaction. We could actually play Omnath and he can't get countered, but... I think I'm going to do this. And then still hold up Epiphany here. And if they want to use their counterspell here, I think I'm fine just letting that happen. Again, they have to deal with this. So I'll pass. Okay. Uro. Well, it sacks itself, so I think this is... They still have access to 3 mana that they could counter our Epiphany with. And this doesn't necessarily affect the board right now, so I think I'll let them Uro. Are they going to stifle their own trigger or something like that? They're thinking about what they want to do. They conceded because they knew we had Sublime Epiphany. The AI tech just can figure it all out. 1-1, let's go. Alright, playing against Golos here. Golos is one of the more powerful decks that I have found. And is this hand good enough to keep? We have Restoration, but like, we have a board wipe. I don't think this hand really does it. We'll take a free mulligan. There we go. We got Mystic into Cobra now. I think that's keepable with a green source. So we'll keep this one and see if either of these survive. Mimic copying Cobra isn't bad either. So let's lead on Mystic. They're going to be setting up all their mana over there. Let's do... I can't technically... So if I play Cobra, play an island, add a color, I can't also cast Mystic here. So it doesn't really matter if I do this first. In fact, I just do this and then attack with Mystic. And let's see if either of these survive here. Sequence, okay. They do survive. So are we going to be able to cast Omnath on turn 3? I think we can. We add a white off of this. So we go white here and then cast Omnath. Turn 3 Omnath, I'll take it. We'll see if he survives or not, but you can't really decline a turn 3 Omnath when presented with the choice, right? Let's see what they're doing here. Another ramp spell. They have 3 mana. Can they kill Omnath? No. Not yet, at least. So, what if we mimic the Cobra, play Garden, have access to 3 mana, can Soul Sear their island? They could kill Cobra in response, which wouldn't be great. We could play Garden, play Terror of the Peaks, and that's just a great card. They could counter it. I don't know what Golos plays. It's a 5-color deck. They could play all sorts of things here. So why don't we play Chetmir's Garden, add a red, and then see if they have a counterspell? Nah, looks like they do. They didn't get priority when I played the land, so they do have the counterspell here. That's okay. Worse things have happened. Here comes Golos. We have Soul Sear to get rid of Golos, which is what I believe I will be doing. Currently no way to play multiple lands in a turn here. Well, that's kind of a way, but not really the way you want to do it. Um, let's do... Mimic, copying Cobra. Do this here. Red. And blue. No. Alright. How do you manually do this again? Full control here. So now I do this. Use that one. Oh, the blue. Okay, I was hoping I had enough mana to cycle Typhoon here still. That's my goal. I don't need the shark from it. I just want to get this out of my hand, really. There we go. That's what I've been trying to do. Hallowed Fountain. Maybe we're here for the memes, right? So next turn we play Hallowed Fountain. We don't even have the mana. Oh, we will from Double Lotus Cobra here. So we sacrifice all of our lands? Why not? What could go wrong? Well, they're searching for a basic land here. What could possibly go wrong if we sacrifice every single one of our lands? Nothing. This isn't a serious series. This is a fun series. Oh, Time Warp. Okay. Are they just going to cast a Golos here? I would really like to untap with my whole board so I can sacrifice all of my lands. You see, that makes things a little bit more annoying. Can still cast him next turn. I definitely would have done the lithoforming next turn if Omnath was still on the battlefield. Because this card is interesting. I am playing 35 lands in this deck with like 10 MDFCs, so it's almost like 45 lands in a way. Could probably get away with playing more lands, or even more MDFCs, just to kind of like have the option to continue to play more lands. But, you know, when the AI only gives you 22, you know you have to up it at least a little bit from there. Because 22 certainly is not enough. Coma. That is a good card. I don't even know if I need to pay the 2 life, but I don't really care. Green, white, blue. Sure. They have a counterspell with 1 island? Well, that is annoying to say the least. Jeez. Alright. Wash Away. What kind of tech is that? Maybe the AI will give us this card. So it's 1 mana counter target opponent commander. Is what that card is. Alright, can we find our way through Coma here? Probably not, but we're going to try. Evolving Wilds. Sure. Alright, bud, come on in. Don't have another 1-mana counterspell. You've already used 2 on me. Mystical Dispute and Wash Away. Alright. Now you have to let us do Lithoforming. That's all I'm here to do. Is sacrifice all of my lands and see what happens. You only have 2 cards in hand. This is so annoying. Let me have my fun. I'm just trying to have my fun. Yeah, Koma's really all you need to win a game. Koma's kind of a stupid card. Alright, let's try this. Alright, dude. It's all my mana. Ooh. That's kind of what Lithoforming does in a way. So we're gonna... Can we cycle through our whole deck of lands here? I'm not even concerned about winning at this point. I just want to cycle through my whole deck of lands. So we can scape shift, sacrifice our entire deck of... all of our lands. Double Cobra gives us 14 mana. Then we can sacrifice all of those lands. Draw that many cards. And then have like 15 mana at the end of it. What I'll do with that, I have no idea. But that's irrelevant. Why would I care about what I get to do with the mana? When I can just... I can still scape shift after playing Azusa. Alright guys, we're doing it. No idea what's going to happen here, but we're about to try it. Alright. Scape, or Azusa. Scape shift our whole... entire mana base. Just let me have my fun here. Oh, they conceded. They didn't even let us do it. We were going to escape shift every single mana away. We're going to get 14 mana. And then we're going to Lithoforming all of that away. End up with like 30 mana and like 8 cards in hand. And then figure out what to do from there. But they just let us have it. Did we have the win? I don't know, but it would have been sweet. Let's get to our last game here today. Alright, our last game here today, playing against the Kinnan deck, which is usually a pretty good deck here. They usually crush me in these AI videos. Because they get like turn 3 Ulamogs and stuff out there, which is just kind of stupid. But, you know, what am I going to do about it? I'm going to explore on turn 2 and see what happens. That doesn't really do anything right now. So, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video here, if you want to get in on this, go ahead and leave a comment with the commander you want to see next week. And the most liked comment is going to be the one that we're going to have AI build for next week. I like to keep these videos between 30 and 45 minutes for you. Don't want you sticking around for too long. I want us to still have a good time here. And what do we do now? Bala Ged, Recovery, Getting Back, Explore. Everything else is 5 mana. Can Spikefield Hazard. So I guess I have to Jetmir's Garden, and then... I mean, I could Bala Ged Recovery the Explore, but is that even good? I guess I could just hold up Spikefield Hazard or something? I don't know. Caryatid. Well, rewarded. We're holding up Spikefield Hazard here. Alright, what do I need? I have 3 red, so I need a white. Okay, so now we do fires, and I could just do Omnath? Let's do red and 7. Oh, they have a counterspell. Activated ability, triggered ability, or legendary spell. Well, whatever we countered with, or whatever we cast was getting countered there, so. Next turn. Finale of Devastation for 4. Getting, I don't know what. We'll see. Circle of Dreams Druid to add, like, oof, a lot. Let's start with Omnath, see if we can hit a land for the Green Warden. No. Guess we'll play Nissa then. Why can I cast this? You can only cast spells with mana value less than or equal to the number of lands you control without paying their mana cost. You can only cast no more than 2 each turn. Is this allowing me to play it as a land? Okay. That's fine, I'll do that. What does this have? Vigilance and haste? So I guess I should have played this pre-combat as a land. Then I could have played Green Warden. Yeah, definitely should have done that, so. So then I played Green Warden and then Omnath. It would have been alright, though. Okay, so they get to steal everything we control. That's wonderful. Oh, they just steal literally everything we control. Alright, well, that's about the end of this game. Yeah, these Kinnan decks are pretty stupid. Sure. So, mass manipulation stealing Omnath, Nissa, and our mountain here. We were doing okay, and then they did that. So, that's terribly unfortunate, but, you know. And then a coma. Alright, well, we had a decent video here today. So, I mean, we got 2 wins, and we would have had a pretty fun one if they wouldn't have conceded against us preemptively in that last one. But either way, had a good time here in today's video. Go ahead and again, go ahead and drop the comment of the one you want to see for next week, and like the comment of the one that you think deserves the best chance at being the one. So that is how we're going to do it for today. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time for your daily draft or AI Historic Brawl. See you later.